My sister Miley was a very healthy, beautiful person. She lived her life, eating only healthy foods. She loved going to the gym. She was very active. And so when I found out on Sunday, I was absolutely devastated. We are still trying to navigate this new normal. It was very unexpected. There was very little information as well too. And my brother-in-law, who witnessed everything unfolding, he's completely traumatized. He is shaken to his core, and he has been able to speak um, very coherently. I think he is deeply traumatized by what has happened. My brother-in-law is a very soft-spoken person, and I don't think he could have ever imagined that a trip to a grocery store, a routine trip, would turn out to be such a horrific situation for our family. So we are completely devastated. My nieces and nephews are now without a mother, and she was the heart of the family. She was the oldest of, the oldest daughter of 9 children. I have
Mhm.
an older brother, and she took care of me and my siblings, and so she was like a second mother to me. Complete tragedy.
And what is it you would like people to know and remember about your sister?
She was a beautiful person inside and out, and she always spoke her truth. Anyone who knew her, she would always tell you exactly how she felt. She was extremely loving and caring. She was so passionate about her family and protecting them. And being the oldest, I think that came naturally for her. She helped my mother raise us, and she just knew how to be a mother. And she always put other people before her. She wanted to see her kids be successful. She knew that growing up, she had a very poor childhood, and she was born in Laos, and she was raised in a refugee camp. And so some of those early memories stayed with her. And when we came to the United States, she was the first to graduate high school and go to college and live the American dream. And she bought her first home through hard work, and she loved her family and her community, and she wanted her children to have the life that she didn't have. And she worked so hard to make sure that they could have the things that she didn't.
And how, if you're able to share, did this unfold on Sunday?
My understanding is that it happened around 10 a.m.
Mhm.
Your time. I'm in Eastern Standard Time. But when it happened so quickly. My brother-in-law was completely traumatized. He was taken to the hospital with my sister in an ambulance, and we didn't hear from him until later that afternoon. So
Mhm.
he had been with her for several hours before we had even found out. And because I live in Michigan, it was hard for me to be there right away as much as I would have liked to be. And so a lot of what I've been hearing was his firsthand account, and unfortunately, a lot of uh, reporting on social media, a lot of others and their input. And it has been extremely heartbreaking and traumatizing for us because we have not laid her to rest yet. And if you can just imagine losing a loved one and then seeing it unfold, seeing the scene unfold on social media, and very graphic images of this scene, I'm completely crushed. As much as I had wished that I was there to protect her, to see it after her death has been completely a tragedy. And
Mhm.
so I ask everyone for their respect and understanding. As an elected official, I am a public figure, but my family certainly did not choose this role that I hold. And so it has been completely uprooting our entire family, but I'm also so grateful for the first responders. My understanding is that there were several different departments, including the Saukville Police Department and area fire departments that came to her aid and to help at the scene. And so I'm grateful for those that came and the individuals that were there that helped my brother-in-law. I mean, he was frozen, he was shocked. And so the people who were nice enough to stop and to help, I'm grateful for so many people who were helping to assist. And I'm hopeful that the police department, they are working diligently to fully investigate what happened, and um, and hopefully that will bring some justice and answers to the questions that we as family members have as to what happened that day.
What are the questions you and your family have?
Well, we have an individual who killed my sister, and that person is probably still driving today, and uh, that makes me feel very uneasy to know that a human life was taken, several uh, vehicles damaged, property as well too, and to know that this happened that could have been prevented, such a senseless act, and um, the person that was responsible is still out there. So I'm worried about pedestrian safety. I'm worried that this could happen to someone else. I want to see preventable measures being taken and justice for my nieces, my nephew, and my brother-in-law, and my siblings and I. So still a lot of unanswered questions, but I'm worried about the safety of this happening again.
For you and your family, what would justice look like in this case?
Well, certainly there is an ongoing investigation, and they are doing, their due diligence in investigating what has happened. And I think that when the time comes, I'm hopeful that the police department and the district attorney will bring forth any charges that they deem appropriate, because pedestrian safety is so important. Coming up with preventable measures. This driver who killed my sister is still out there and quite possibly still driving. So I don't know if anyone who continues to, shop in the area or is out there, that they need to have the public safety at the forefront. And as an elected, state representative here in Michigan, we create laws to help protect people. And I'm confident that the laws there in Wisconsin will do the same to protect the public good. Because right now, um, given what we know, is that safety is questionable.
And I know there was a gentleman who was at the scene that we spoke to this week who offered some help to your sister and your brother-in-law as well. I don't know if you and your family have been able to make contact with that man, and if not, what message would you send to him and the other folks who were there who tried their best to help?
We have not. He hasn't reached out to us, and certainly he probably doesn't know how to get a hold of us. But if he is watching and listening, I want to thank him for taking the time out of his day to stop and to help. When a tragedy hits like this, you don't have time to think about what to do. And I think people do the right thing, and he certainly did in helping to assist. So I thank him. I thank all of the first responders and everyone who responded to this incident and this tragedy, and knowing that my sister in her last moment was not alone. But I certainly know how traumatizing this can be for someone, and I'm just deeply, deeply disappointed that this uh, senseless act and this preventable thing could have been prevented, and that we wouldn't be here having this conversation, and I would still, have an older sister. I think she would still be alive today if some other decisions had been made.
Specifically, what I know you're using the word preventable. How could this situation have been prevented, in your opinion?
Well, I don't want to speak too much about it because certainly I wasn't there, and there are still facts that we still need to uncover in this. But if we look at what we know, and based on the conversations I had with my brother-in-law, this was in a parking lot. This is place where you should be speeding at a very minimum of 5 miles an hour, and to know that not only did she kill my sister, but to have damaged property and other vehicles and a shopping cart and whatever else. I mean, you have had to have been speeding very, very fast. And while we don't know how quickly she was going, according to my brother-in-law, it looked like she was going a lot faster than what you would normally do in a parking lot and where people are crossing crosswalks. So, for this to happen, and for my brother-in-law to have witnessed it, and for my nieces and nephews to have lost their mother, I can just imagine the feeling that they would feel even getting out of a car now. There are studies that show that when children lose their parents to tragedies such as this, it does a lot of damage to them mentally. And so, even now, in another state, I mean, I am being extra cautious because it really makes you think twice about what people's intentions are and their ability to drive, and to know that this person who took another life is still out there driving. And does that make you feel safe? I know it doesn't make me feel safe, and it certainly doesn't make me, have an assurance that my community and my loved ones are safe.
And I guess finally, I'll just ask you just kind of what you are doing to continue to support your family and especially your nieces and your loved ones as you navigate this really uncharted waters for your family.
I'm grateful to, be in a position to be a voice for others who may not be able to come forward to speak. I'm always advocating for my constituents' needs, and sometimes people are afraid to come forward, or they, for whatever reason, are not able to. And so I have, sort of taken on that role to be that voice for my family, especially during this need, but while still grieving as having lost a loved one who was very close to me. And so it has been extremely difficult while I try to stay strong and to get the job done and do the work and get up every day to show up. It has been extremely hard to be put together, but I know that my sister, she always told me how proud she was of me. She never once ever not let me know how proud she was of me. And I know that if it was for anyone else, I know she would be fighting tooth and nail for justice, just for anyone too. And so I am doing my best to honor her and to allow her memory to guide me in doing what I can, and to standing up for my brother-in-law and my nieces and nephews who are just completely crushed and traumatized and don't know what to do. And so while I have had to grieve, I have also tried my best to help them navigate this from another state while still trying to do my job, the job that I was elected to do. So her name is Mai Lee
Mhm.
Xiong Hang, and we share the same name. And that is one thing that I am so blessed to have. People used to get confused because we both share the same first name, but Mai is a very common name. And I'm grateful that I can still have a part of her in my name, and to be able to live her legacy.
Representative Sean, thank you so much again for taking some time out of your busy schedule and in this tough time for you and your family. Again, want to pass along our condolences to you and your entire family as well.
Thank you so much.